Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so All-Star game, exactly what I predicted. Didn't I tell you guys? A game where it wasn't going to be a whole lot of competitiveness because people were afraid of getting hurt. Um, people have their own interests in regards to wanting to see how they finish the season. So a lot of times they're going up against their competitors or being on the same team with some guys that they may have had a moment with throughout the course of the season. It just doesn't. In my humble opinion, guys do want to be selected, but they don't want to play. And, to be 100% honest with everybody, I thought I enjoyed the game a little more than most. When I listened to the commentators, they trashed this game, said it was the worst All-Star game ever. I don't believe it was, although I didn't get a chance to see it all the way through because I kept having link issues. So I was seeing it in splices here and there every time, watch it, cut off, find another link, watch it, cut off, find another link, that kind of thing throughout the course of the game. But I understood. I knew what I was going to see. I've seen what? I've seen 25, 30 All-Star games in my life. This ain't new. Even when Kobe and those guys were playing, it would take Kobe being competitive to make it a competitive game a lot of times. Without him out there, it was sort of like this even back then. Guys just don't like competing in these games, and enough guys have gotten hurt in these type of games to where now it's just like, all right, we got enough data to know that you can get hurt playing this. Let's just go out there and leave the lane open for dunks. It gets a little frustrating when guys like Luka Doncic don't play at all. You talk about Luka Doncic, forget how to play in All-Star games. It's like we're selecting you. Fake an injury if you don't want to even do the highlights. You know what I mean? That's my thing. He started to get it going a little. It was funny when he threw it off the rim and tried to dunk it. But we know his game. He don't want to compete in these games. He's one of the worst ones in my mind, Luka Don, in terms of you select him to be a starter, and he damn near the reason you lost because he ain't even playing basketball out there. So that was one of my critiques. It just depends on the players that you choose. You know what I mean? A lot of times, the most competitive guys are not the guys that are going to be there every year. It's the guys that only got one shot at being an all-star, and they're trying to soak it in. Not the dude that's 9, 10 times selected, with the exception of Dame Lillard, who came in with a chip on his shoulder. Man, I've been listening to Ticket TV killing Dame Lillard all week, probably for the last 7 days straight. Every time the Bucks play, he's basically saying the Bucks need to cut Dame. Dame is playing like trash, more or less saying the man's washed. And so when you have pride like Dame Lillard, you're not going to go into a nationally televised situation like that and not try to respond. And I think that's what you saw there. I think you saw Dame Lillard basically responding to that type of criticism that he's been taking on, struggling with the Bucks. I know that we say the word struggling, but when you look at his stats actually ain't as bad as people are saying it is. But the point is, the Bucks aren't winning. The defense isn't being played. They're not winning like they're supposed to, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the main reasons is because Dame hasn't elevated his game. Well, in the All-Star game, he was going to elevate his game. And we all know this season, whoever's paying close enough attention to basketball right now knows that the Bucks and the Pacers have a real rivalry taking place this season. They played a lot of games back to back to back, and then Tyrese Halliburton has been just killing them. And then, of course, you had the situation where, Giannis wanted the game ball, and they had taken the game ball with their assistant coach or what have you. So it's just a lot to be said for a Buck coming into Indy and wanting to win the All-Star game, wanting to win the three-point contest. It's personal as it pertains to the team that Dame is on right now. I don't know that he comes in with the same energy if he still played for Portland. But since this is the type of year they've been having against Indy, having a Buck coming in, taking something from Indy meant something to them. So that's really what it was in my mind too. But, I was frustrated with the fact that Tyrese Halliburton didn't get the MVP as well. But when I look at Dame's stats, he had more points, the same assists, same boards. So it's like if you're gonna look at the stats and see what it is, you can say that Tyrese had a better plus minus. At one point, I don't know if it ended that way, but ultimately Dame had like 7, 8 more points than it. So it was fair. I don't think anybody liked it. I didn't. I wanted Tyrese to get it. I think everybody walked away thinking, they were kind of bitter at the idea that Dame actually took that All-Star game from Tyrese. It would have been so much more fitting for a Pacer to win it there and that kind of thing. But, like I said, when you got that type of rivalry going on, a Buck gonna come in and take something from the Pacers this season. That's just what it is. And so, you know what I mean? I thought the All-Star game was Not the worst one I'd ever seen, but it wasn't good. I thought it was cool to see 211 points. I was on the other spectrum of that. I love seeing that many points scored. It's never been done in any level of basketball. The most you ever seen scored was like 180 something in an All-Star game. You ain't never seen 211 points scored in a basketball game on no professional ranks. So I thought that was kind of cool. So like I said, I told y'all before on one of my Laker videos about 4 to 5 days ago, and I was not thrilled about the All-Star game coming when it did for my Laker team, because we are on a good stretch right now, playing well, offense is clicking, everything. I just felt like this was the wrong time for my team to take a break, even though we have plenty of players hurt who probably need to be resting right now. So I get that, but you know, for my own team, we have our own issues with our coach having the ability to play more options of players and it not going well because of his creativity. So I don't necessarily see us having 5 guys missing, especially with the 5 guys that we have missing. It ain't the worst thing in the world for this team to just not have those guys available to coach to run in whatever rotations he chooses. So that's my point of view. I didn't want this All-Star break to happen right now. I want to play more games with our players playing as well as they are in this flurry while we wait that same amount of time for our guys to come back. Because at the end of the day, they need to come back when they're healthy, regardless about how long the All-Star break is or not. It's probably going to take a little long for the guys to come back anyway. I wanted games to be played while we're playing well. So that's my point of view. But I get it. I get the understanding that the Lakers need to get healthy overall and not put as much pressure on the guys who are playing so that they don't go down with injuries. But nevertheless, the All-Star game was a snooze fest for a lot of people. All-Star Saturday night was also. I'm on the other spectrum of something else as well. A lot of people were fans of the Steph Curry, Sabrina, I don't know how to say her last name, shoot off. I wasn't a fan of that. I thought that was gimmicky as hell. I get it. You want to showcase the young lady. You want to showcase the WNBA in some form or fashion. In this All-Star break to kind of bring a light to their game. But I just thought that when you really break it down, there are a lot of people who you want to see go in a shootout with Steph Curry. Why she was the one chosen is a mystery to me. But she's a hell of a shooter, and I do think I would have liked to have seen her shoot with a regular basketball. I know that some people on the other side of that saying that they would rather her shoot closer to the three-point line. You know, the way the WNBA line is set up. I'm the opposite of that. I want her to shoot. If you're going to shoot with a man and you're going to be measured next to a man, you're going to use man equipment. That's how I feel. I'm not on that, oh, women are weaker. Now, when they trying to go up against us and we're going to be judged against them and they shooting lighter balls and closer, hell no. She needs to be shooting with an NBA ball. In fact, I think they need to stop this WNBA ball bull crap. Give them an NBA ball. These girls are playing with real basketballs out in the streets out here. And then when they get to the league, they got a little tiny ball. Get out of here with that garbage. Give them a real basketball. I'm on that side of the fence. But, yeah. So I just felt like, it's gimmicky as hell. But it seems like everybody liked it. So if they want to keep that going to where an NBA player and a WNBA player have a three-point shootout, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world if y'all liked it. But me personally, I did not like the gimmick behind it. I didn't like the idea that she was the one going up against Steph Curry. Of all the great shooters in the league that won a one-on-one three-point contest with Steph Curry, and they choose her, I just thought that was just full of gimmicky bullcrap. But nevertheless, it seemed like people enjoyed it. So she should have been in the three-point contest. She got 26. That would have got her in the final round. And I also didn't feel all that comfortable about Dame Lillard being the three-point shooting contest winner when Steph Curry had a 28-point three-point shooting round. Now, that doesn't mean he wins the contest on a 28th round, but it was higher than the highest height. So if you're going to walk away with the three-point contest trophy and that dude had more points than you in his last round, there's something to be said for maybe you should have been shooting out with him to see if you really deserved that. All the more, another person who I thought probably was more worthy to shoot a one-on-one with Steph Curry, Dame Lillard. Because it's just, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of that. But it seems like most people were, so right on. I thought the three-point shooting contest was fun. I enjoyed that, but it always is. It's hard to run a three-point shooting contest. Put the right shooters in there, they're gonna compete. It's always great. The skills competition I thought was better this year. given the fact that they had 3 different things that they had them do rather than kind of incorporating all that into one. I think that's what I was able to surmise because I was only half watching it, cooking food at the time. But it seemed like that was a bit more fun. I was happy to see the Pacers run away with that. You know, I didn't get a chance to see Friday night stuff too much. The youngsters games, I wasn't able to get links for that, so I missed the game that had the G League sophomores and rookies going up against each other, and the G League beat the rookies, which is hell of a fight. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, man, I thought that seemed to get a good response from the fans. So, you know, all in all, it wasn't the worst All-Star weekend in the world. I thought Indy put on a pretty solid show. You know, I mean, you don't expect it to be too many bells and whistles, but it was good. But the All-Star game, I think most people hate it, man. I think most people really hated it. They're bashing the hell out of it. The dunk contest, as you can see, I didn't even remember that it happened. That's how bad the dunk contest was. To me, it was awful. It really was, man. Jaylen Brown jumping over Kai Cenat, sitting down, and then for doing the D Brown late. I didn't love that. I did like the Clark when they tributed the young man who lost his life out here. Clark, I thought that was great from Jaylen Brown, and I'm glad Jaylen Brown competed because he's a star and needs to kind of lead the way. Stars need to get back into this dunk contest if they want to keep it because, you know, it's not enough. It's not. Mac McClung is a worthy winner, but he doesn't even represent an NBA team, yo. he's a G League guy. So I just think that the dunk contest has taken several steps backwards, you know, and I just wasn't enthused by what I saw for the most part. I really wasn't. And no groundbreaking dunks. I see better dunk contests in high school. You know what I mean? See better dunk contests at the McDonald's All-American game. You know what I'm saying? So they just need the idea that stars don't want to compete in the dunk contest but are excellent dunkers. I think that's a flawed way of thinking for a lot of these young fellas. That you don't want to dunk. Winning a dunk contest is cool. Whoever told them or whoever they're following that told them that winning a dunk contest isn't cool, it's like a glitch in the matrix in a way, in my opinion. How that ever became not cool is the weirdest thing to me. It really is. But for whatever reason, this generation and the one just before this generation just doesn't want to compete in the dunk contest, and they're whack for that. Just being honest, they're really whack for that. When I watched Michael Jordan win a bunch of dunk contests, I seen Kobe Bryant win dunk contests, Vince Carter win dunk contests, and did some of the best stuff we ever seen. And then the next generation of stars just decided it's not cool. Who the hell lied to y'all and put that garbage in your head that made you think that after all that greatness of dunk contests, now you come in and suddenly it's not cool? How'd that even happen? How'd that even happen? It's like somebody played a joke. It's almost like someone threw a monkey wrench in the culture and it stuck. They were actually joking and somebody like really believed it. Yeah, no, it's not cool. Like, how the hell that happened? No, all the coolest players that ever played a game won dunk contest. So I just think that's weird. And I hope it's over. I hope the next generation of young fellas bring the dunk contest back. I really do. I hope Jaylen Brown can start the process of people saying, yo, I make $300 million. I made a couple All-Star teams. I'm in this year's All-Star team, and I want to dunk. Hopefully they do it better than him, but I'm glad he did it. So, yeah, man, there wasn't a whole lot else to say, I don't believe. I don't know halfway even remember some of the dunks in that dunk contest. I really don't. They just came and went. And that's unfortunate, you know. Jaime Jaquez in the dunk contest, he was cool. You know, Obi Toppin's brother. Does he even get any minutes on it? I mean, who are these people? Like, that's what it really comes down to for a lot of casual fans. They don't know who these guys are. So that's what it is. What else, man? Draymond Green having conversations about the LeBron James trade, essentially saying that he wouldn't throw the Jonathan Kuminga in the trade, but kind of left the fact out that he would be willing to throw in Klay Thompson. I think that can have reverberating effects on the Golden State Warriors going forward. They've been through a lot. They've withstood a lot. They know each other well, but Klay Thompson's having a hard time with just kind of falling off a little bit. People calling him washed. He's playing washed, and he comes back and has a great game, and he has a washed game again. It's just, you know, for that to be out there, for Draymond to kind of do him like that, I thought it was kind of cold. But you never know what's going on behind the scenes. So, figured I'd comment on that. That was a little strange. LeBron James saying he wants to be with the Lakers for the foreseeable future or something along those lines. He wants to continue to be a Laker. He hopes he continues to be a Laker. I hope he is too. I hope he is too. I like having a king here, man. He's already won a championship. We know we can be a much better team if we could just put together the right pieces around him. I thought we should trade him if we thought we were going to lose him, but if we think we can keep him, then trading him was not the move. So that's really my little Laker fan take on that. I don't think he's going to end up playing with Steph Curry unless Steph Curry comes here. I don't see him going to Golden State. He has gone up against him too many times in the finals for him to choose that team after being a part of the generation where Kevin Durant went to Golden State himself and got murked for it socially. People just still call him a cupcake to this day for doing that. I just don't see LeBron James witnessing that and then going to Golden State. With all the battles he had against him, I don't see it. It's not happening. Now, if they trade for him, he probably wouldn't have a choice but to play with them. Obviously, he ain't going to retire to keep from playing with them. But as far as him choosing to go there, I don't see that. That's not happening. Not in my mind. But I do think the Lakers could make a push for Steph Curry if the Golden State Warriors decide to blow it up. I could totally see him wanting to come here. I could see Klay wanting to come here too. But I'm not willing to pay Klay's price because at the end of the day, he's not playing like old Klay. So why should we give him $30 million a year? I'm not in the business of giving people legacy money for what they've already done when I don't expect them to do that now. No, that's just asking for a bad contract. If they want a bad contract, they can give it to me. So that's how I look at that. But you know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, I'm not making any trade with LeBron James involved in it. If Kuminga's not coming our way, Golden State, I hope you guys know that. If Draymond Green's gonna hold up that trade and keep you from getting LeBron James, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings. But if you ain't giving us Kuminga, I'm not advising my team to do anything with you. He's coming. That's it. Kuminga would be on the Lakers. So that's the only way they're getting LeBron James in a trade. If the package surrounds him and picks. Because I don't want Klay, not if I can get him in free agency. I'm not doing that, obviously. Especially at that price that they're paying him right now. It's not happening. And then some of the other pieces are role players, man. They're role players. And I'm not taking Draymond Green for LeBron James. That defeats the purpose. He going to want to play with his boy, and Draymond Green ain't taking us nowhere. So we're obviously not going to give me Steph Curry for LeBron, although I think that would probably be what I would ask for. But, it is what it is, man. The point is, if Kuminga ain't a part of it, then I'm sending him elsewhere. If I'm Jeanie Buss and the Lakers. So, yeah, man. Those are my takeaways from All-Star Weekend. I'm kind of glad the Lakers and the NBA right now, after All-Star Weekend, has some time to relax. Before the games start back, I don't think rushing back is the way to go. There was one more thing. LeBron James essentially is not going to play. Potentially in the Golden State game that we have coming back from the All-Star break. We immediately play the Golden State Warriors, and I think there's something to be said for rumors of him going to play for Golden State and him not wanting to play against Golden State. Maybe there's some smoke there. Maybe there's something to see there. I get people saying they're not pleased with him for playing in that All-Star break. If he really does have an ankle issue, he probably should have sat. But, a guy's about his legacy, man. It was his 20th All-Star game. He wasn't going to miss it. And so a regular season game against the Golden State Warriors, yeah, for us Laker fans, it means a whole lot that he plays in that game. And it speaks to his commitment to us when he doesn't want to play in that game, but we'll play in the All-Star game. But I think it speaks to a bigger commitment that he has to his own legacy and his willingness to perform for his fans in Indiana in an All-Star game and for around the world. And so that's, in a perfect world, people really put you first as a fan and your team. But a guy like LeBron James never going to do that. It's just not going to happen. So I expected him to do this. For me to be disappointed would be me to say that I thought he would do something different. No, he's going to. If he has something wrong with his ankle, he's going to play in the All-Star game, and he's going to miss your little Laker-Warrior matchup. And that's just the reality of it. So, yeah, man. All-Star game, I didn't think it sucked as bad as everybody said it did, but it did suck just the same. I will be honest and say that I would have loved to see more competitive basketball down the stretch of the fourth quarter, but the score was so out of whack because the three ball kept falling for the Eastern team. Dame hitting half-court threes. I mean, my God, man. Kind of hard to win when that's the case. And like I said, we had people on our side didn't want to play, man. I'm just going to be honest. We had people over here didn't really want to compete that hard. But We also had some guys that really did. I thought Carl Towns was fun to watch down there. Really fun. And if West would have had a chance to win, he probably would have been MVP himself. So, it's just is what it is, man. All-Star game, I don't think we should abolish the All-Star game, but I do think they might want to go back to the old format from 2020 when Kobe had passed away and they did some type of strange quarter-to-quarter is a game. Every quarter is a game type of thing, and you had to get a certain amount of points in the quarter or something. I don't remember how they messed around with it, but that made it very competitive, and they went away from it. And so for me, it's like when something like that works, maybe you revisit it rather than to just abolish it and just say it was only for 1 year. No, it worked. It made it so that everybody wanted to compete. And I encourage everybody to go check out the highlights from 2020's All-Star game when Kobe passed away. And I think the target point was 81 or something like that. I don't remember what it was. But every quarter was a different game. And they did something funny with the way you win in terms of the score. And therefore, it was very competitive. Go back to that and don't walk away from it because it's the only thing that's making people competitive. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Going back to East to West format, I think it was more fun on paper than it was in real life. It probably is better in real life if you mix it up from what I'm seeing also. I think that might have something to do with it because you just had too many guys from the West Coast that were a little older, especially the back of the bench, and too many guys from the East Coast that are fresh and excited about doing this. Guards that are going to shoot a lot of threes. You just didn't see a whole lot of balance there from the East to West in the All-Star game. So maybe you do go back to team captains and picking, although I'm not really a fan of that on paper. It makes for a better basketball game, though. So, yeah, man, those are just a few things that I was thinking about. Got basketball on Thursday, of course, as I said. I'll be covering that again, the Lakers and the Warriors. It's Monday now, so we still got some days to rest. Hopefully, for my team, we'll have our guys back. Hopefully, for your team, you will as well. If you got guys missing, this will be enough time for them to get back out there. I personally, I'm going to tell you the truth about the All-Star game. I personally thought those two Sacramento Kings guys should have been there. Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox were missed out there for me. They were. I just don't think that. I understand rewarding winning. And you want to put two Clippers out there because they're really good. You want to put two Wolves out there because they're playing well and you're the top of the West. But to me, them two dudes, the way they've been playing individually, both of them, they should have been out there. De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. I thought that the game, it was something missing for me, and that was what it was. It just felt like two guys that really deserved to be there were not there. So, yeah, that's my whole point of view, guys. I just wanted to give y'all a little rundown of the All-Star game. I don't know how much basketball I'm going to talk before the NBA restarts for my team on Thursday, but I did want to give you this and just tell you guys that the All-Star game wasn't as bad as everyone said it was, but it was bad just the same. And there needs to be some tweaks. BDO 44, I'll thank y'all for watching.